when I was 3 years old, my father suffered two strokes the same month, and he got really, really sick, and half of his body got with this difficult to move. My father is an architect, and he is supposed to be moving a lot for his work. When my father got sick, he was recovering, and my mother and him got divorced. My mother left to another city. I lived with her for a little over 2 years. Then I went back with my father because I have this special bond with him. And as time passed by, I never fully realized what my father was going through. And the past years, I mean, until I turned 16 or 17, I could actually see everything he went through. And it was really hard because
Oh, you're
I
making me
never,
cry.
no, don't cry, don't cry. I never fully realized his effort. And I remember that once he was trying to get job because people discriminated him so much. I mean, this is kind of hard, but people said things like, "I'm not going to give job to an architect that isn't able to work to build my house because he's not gonna make it okay." And through time, he began this process in which he started to cultivate at home, not only because it was a release for our economic situation, but because it was healing his soul. And last year, because of COVID crisis, I was fully alone on my apartment with my cat. He's amazing, my cat. I love my cat, but I was lonely. I was really lonely. And I started to plant at my garden. I started to cultivate because I remembered my father did this. And when I got everything I wanted from my garden, I started to just giving it to my neighbors because I knew everyone was lacking food. And they were like, why are you gifting food if we are on the middle of an economic and pandemic crisis? And I was like, I cultivated them at home. It was nothing for me, but I know it is going to be huge for you because we are all in a really hard situation. And they were like, teach us. And we all started to cultivate. And in this process, a lot of families joined in, and we started just switching products from all of us and from all of the neighborhood. And it was amazing because there was people that had nothing to eat. It was like a condemn to death because of hunger. And there's when I understood that we live the same. I remembered we live the same and how hard it was for my family and that I needed to do something. And that's where I began this process of planting all over the city urban orchards so everyone can actually eat without worrying. And when you have something to eat, you are actually able to break the poverty cycle. And that's how my project was born.
Oh, that's so nice. And you know what, as a physical therapist, I also have patients who suffer from stroke. So I do understand the situation of your dad. That's why, sorry if I'm being emotional, but I
Oh,
know how hard it is. And you're a great daughter. He raised you to be a strong woman. And thank you so much for giving back those experiences, those lessons that you had back then to other people. So
thanks a lot
yeah,
for your
thank you. Thank
empathy.
you for sharing your story. We need to hear this kind of story because it gives hope. And actually, in partnership with what you said, actually we have the same goal. That is to conquer poverty. Your ways is, to feed people, to feed their stomach, to feed their minds.
And you're
And
feeding.
yeah, and in my case, it's educating them. It's giving them the weapons that they need to conquer life. So these are different stories, but we have the same goal, and that is to make this world a better place for everybody. And actually, that is the kind of support that we need to give to one another, because women had so much to offer to everybody. It's just they don't receive much of support system from other people.